Okay, Mark, here is Josh's video. I synced them up with the one we did last week and the one that we did this week. And actually, I actually liked the video we did last week before this week because I don't think he was getting the concept yet of how to when you start your feet like in the bottom video. What I had him do here was just start his feet here so that he can lift the front leg, right? And as he lifts the front leg, he immediately drives the body forward because what we were talking about was for him to finish his back leg drive all the way out to landing so that he doesn't give the leg too much time. Watch how the front leg will turn out. You see how it turns out? The front leg opens and it turns out it lands on this side of the midline. In the top video, he doesn't do that. He doesn't land on the mid. He lands pretty close to the midline, which is good. He just lands extremely like on the inside of the foot, so the ankle's got to roll over. And he does the same thing in this video. He lands on the inside of the foot. So when you open up that much, that actually works against you because it starts to create rotation of the body too soon. And that you don't want that to happen until front foot is down. So you can see how his shoulders are starting to rotate and his glove arm is down. So it's an indication that he's starting early rotation. But I like the top video better, the one we did last week, not yesterday or not 2 days ago, because he's actually, when he lifts his leg, he gets some early momentum here, which is good. So as his leg comes up, I can see him shifting out. And if I get him out here in this position here, I'm looking at his force vector, and that's good. But what happens in the bottom video when we're doing this little drill where you just kind of get up and you start pushing out, watch what he does with his back leg. Watch the back knee, specifically the back knee. Watch how he starts it bent, but then as he lifts, he straightens it. So now he has to reload it. So there's a break, there's a pause in his delivery. And I think with that pause, now he's got to kick the foot out. So he still never really finished his back leg drive. See how the knee turns in, and then when the front foot plants, now he gets that leg extended. So that's because he was already out kind of far, and he delayed that movement. When you do a drill where you're starting your feet more spread apart than you would here. So watch him when he starts at the top. See how he starts natural? This drill is just designed to lift the front leg a little bit, the front foot off the ground, and then because the back knee is already bent, you're going to just drive out immediately. So you can lower the force vector, which will allow you to stay straighter onto the target so you can land your foot on the midline. But because he delayed while being out that far, now his force vector is still too high. So now his leg still has too much time to hang up there. So it's going to turn out because his force vector isn't in line with his hip yet to drive. So right now he wants to start driving, but he can't because his angle of force is too high. So had he not delayed that movement, his foot would have been out here more and his vector would have been there lined up with his front hip. So he would have had less time for that foot to hang up there. And when there's less time for the foot to hang, there's no need for it to over-rotate and go outside. It'll just go straight out and down on the midline. But anyway, it's just a work in progress. He'll get it. It's just a coordination. So that's why I like the top video better, because if you watch how he lifts his leg and he gets some early momentum, and I can tell because when I get him here, take a look at his angle of force. The back leg, 61. And when he's here, in the same spot where the foot is right about there, which is the same distance basically, look at where his force vector is there. Is that like a 79, 78? So, you're talking like 18 degrees difference just from the start. So eventually he catches up a little bit, but because he's still not in that position where he's got to drive, this leg is just going to find somewhere to go. The leg here is going to find somewhere to go, and it's not going to go down because his leg is still too high. So it's going to go out first. Anyhow, just something to keep working on. He's just got to get that coordination. If you're going to start there, you lift up your foot like that, and you're already now pushing out and driving your body down. You're not resetting your leg and straightening it out and then bending it again because you've already had it bent. So this is all just a wasted movement. All right? But he looks very, very good. I mean, the things that I would work on with him is his handbrake. See how his arms are winged out, his hands break really high, so he gets the arm up high. His glove hand, I think his glove is actually too heavy for him. If you have a lighter glove or smaller glove, that would help, but look at how low his glove arm is compared to his throwing arm. His angle is going this way, and we want the angle to go this way. We want the glove arm to be up so he gets a tilt, so that would help him get more of a contralateral tilt as he gets older, where the chest pops out and the shoulders kind of lean backwards. And he's not going to get that with the angle of the arms in this direction. He'll get that with the angles of the arm in this direction. So the glove arm just kind of flails down and really is totally inactive in his delivery. So that's hurting his speed. That's hurting his trunk speed, and it's also hurting his ability to throw and release the ball in a consistent release point. When the arm drops down like that, then the throwing arm, the release point, sometimes lifts a little bit because wherever there's an action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if the glove goes down, the arm will go up. The release point will change just a little bit, and that's all it takes for inconsistency. So just like I said before with the equal and opposite reaction, when the glove arm is down, the throwing hand gets up too soon. But if it's the opposite way, the throwing hand won't get up as soon. So we need to be more aggressive with the front arm and less aggressive with the throwing arm. And all I mean by that is just the throwing arm just has to get involved a little later. So we need to see the throwing arm relaxed as the elbows stay closer to the body. Okay? But our focus for now, that's just, obviously for the future and things that we can work on. But he's got some good coordination skills, so I think he'll be able to pick some of this up real quick. Just got to learn how to, power out of the back leg. We'll work on driving the body straight. We'll work on activating the back foot early so that we don't get, this high force vector. And we'll work on, he does do a good weight shift in the beginning, so there's not much I have to even tell him about that. He's got a decent weight shift, and his angle is already turned. It's already this way as he's starting to come down, which is a real positive sign. And now it's coming down even lower as he starts to go out. So in this picture at the top, it's really good because right here when he's ready to drive, his force vector is pretty low. It's almost at the line of the hip, which is good, and that's why he is able to stay on the midline, because as he's driving, his leg now has to catch him. Here, his front leg has too much time because his force is still too high. Okay? So we're going to work on lower body still, so if he can work on some of those little leg drills that we were doing and learn how to coordinate starting in this position, if he's going to lift up a little bit and then boom, he's already going out. Okay? And the arms and the upper body, a lot of that will fix itself. There's a lot of little components that are timing issues that fix itself when he learns how to use the lower body with more efficiency and just with better timing. But he's doing a great job. He's got a lot of potential here. It's just, step by step, little by little, and we'll get it. All right. I will see you next week.